Welcome to Star Citizen, the Alpha 3.12.1 and the ship guide. With the Aegis Gladius we have a very special ship in the test, because this is considered one of the main ships for the single-player expansion Squadron 42, and has been flyable in the game for quite some time. Here the Gladius is as much a part of Star Citizen as the Aurora or the Constellation series. There could not be a more iconic light fighter. The Gladius also serves as the basis and fixed point for many other ships in development. That's why the Gladius, which will reach gold status this year, will be the first to receive all new features and updates. And as in every ship guide, we start with the exterior, look at the main function of the ship, the combat in detail, and also the test of flight capabilities in atmospheric flight before we come to a summary and my recommendation for you. The Aegis Dynamics P5G, or rather Gladius, is one of the main combat ships of the UEE Navy and therefore present in every serious fight. In the category of light fighters, so the size small, the Gladius has compact dimensions and a rather old-fashioned fighter design. In terms of components, no major surprises await us here, but here we find one of the advantages of the Gladius over other light fighters: the second shield generator. The price of the Gladius is also within a reasonable range. For 1.1 million UEC in-game or $90, you could add the Gladius to your hangar without any restrictions. The two special editions you can unlock for the Pirate Edition and the Arena Commander, where you can only earn a real money buy option, or the Valiant Edition, which you can buy at limited sale promotions for a significant premium. The firepower of the Gladius is in the standard range of the light fighters and comes with a fixed standard loadout: a ballistic Side 3 Gatling on the nose and two Side 3 laser repeaters under the wings. So we reach about 1360 DPS with a standard loadout and still have potential here up to just under 1900 DPS, a good value for a light fighter. The missile damage is in the standard at about 23,000 points. But let's have a look at the Gladius in flight. The P5G has a classic wing design, which implies good stability and control in the atmosphere. Also the recommended combat speed of 220 meters per second, as well as the maximum speed of 1236 meters per second are quite respectable, and the Gladius does not have to hide from other representatives of this category. And since for a light fighter delivery missions or cargo transport are out of the question due to the lack of interior space, there is only one area in which the Gladius can show its strengths: the fight. And here the Gladius is already in its element with its standard loadout. The mix of armament from its ballistic Gatling and two laser repeaters offer a high flexibility and penetrating power. Although such a mixed loadout is not my recommendation for you, but you can go with it directly into the bounty hunt, and here also up to very high-risk missions complete. And appropriate flight handling of course provided. The missile equipment is sufficient and offers a plus in firepower that can be devastating, especially against light targets. Against larger opponents, you have the possibility to accelerate the fight or to reduce a superiority. combat against other light fighters, the Gladius doesn't have the problem of losing sight of the enemy or not being able to keep the nose pointed towards the target. The agility and the maneuverability is not as potent as the anvil arrow, but still quite sufficient. One of the main advantages of the Gladius over other light fighters is the additional shield generator. This means that the Gladius can take a hit or two more than other ships, which would have meant a lost wing or even the end of the fight. The Gladius is generally one of the most resistant fighters and is more forgiving than others. Smaller targets are no problem for the Gladius, and we can actually hold our own against any opponent. Of course, we're always talking about PvE here, because agility and maneuverability aren't as crucial as in PvP. As soon as we change the targets and go one level higher, that means into the range of a Cutlass, Hornet or other ships in the middle category, the Gladius pays out its strengths more and more here. We have a clear advantages in terms of maneuverability and agility. Especially with a fixed loadout, that means the 3x3 hardpoints, we can deal out a lot of damage, which usually means a very quick end against this type of enemy. When we then enter the area of the high-risk targets as well as the very high-risk targets, several enemies are our targets at once, which means that we have to keep moving, dodge enemy fire and target enemies at the same time. But even in this area, the Gladius doesn't make any major blunders, and even larger targets like Valkyries, Andromedas or even larger enemies are doable. In combat against capital ships like the Aegis or even a Javelin, however, the Gladius is not able to stand alone due to its comparatively weak armament here, as well as the weak missile payload. Only point targets can be taken out sensibly, and here we should then prefer ballistic scatterguns since the laser variants no longer work as they do here. But let's take a look at what the Gladius can do in the atmosphere. As a small and maneuverable fighter, it has good flight characteristics. The handling is extremely good due to the aerodynamic design and it creates a safe flight feeling. Fast maneuvers, low ground flight or even smaller chases are definitely possible with the Gladius. Overall, the Gladius is a bit more sluggish and cumbersome than an anvil arrow, but still pleasant and direct to control. And we are talking about minor losses in terms of speed and agility when flying close to the ground. For me, the advantages here is the greater controllability at high speeds and a safer feeling in flight. Let's come to the conclusion of the Aegis Gladius. More resistance due to the second shield, compact dimensions as well as a good speed, stand against a slightly worse agility and maneuverability compared to the Arrow. All in all, the Gladius is good in every area, but in no area the maximum. So a jack of all trades. I hope you enjoyed the video and leave me a like and a subscribe here. The Aegis Gladius is really good in all areas, but not the maximum in any of them. It forgives a few more hits, is not quite as little, has a good damage potential, but not the highest possible. This is true in all areas, therefore the Gladius is for me the gold standard against which all other light fighters must measure themselves. So I'm curious to see what will be the final result of the comparison test of the light fighters, which will be published soon. For February there is of course a giveaway again, and this time too. A Grey Cat Rock in the special subscribers edition and the complete Aegis armor, that means helmet, armor, legs and shoulders. If you are looking for like-minded people just to travel through the verse or to participate in the current Zenith Red mission, just drop by our Discord. And we are actually still looking for an English community manager. But the most important thing at the end, a big thank you to all Patreons, channel members and Twitch subscribers. Without you the whole thing would not be possible. Thank you for that, you guys rock definitely. I say goodbye until next time and say as always, see you in the verse.